Hello, my name is Michael Corson. I'm the manager of customer success here at TipHaus. We are the leading software in the tip management space. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about tiered tipping with TipHaus. This is an interesting approach to tipping. Maybe you're doing something like it already and just calling it by a different name, but it's one of the many ways you can use TipHaus to streamline tip management with automation rules. I'm going to pop over into a demo account and show you a little bit about what TipHaus is doing with this. You can see here I have my fake location Bogies Bonanza, and you can see I have some tip sharing rules that give out individual percentages from certain job codes to other job codes. We also have pools in place at this location that share tips between bartenders. And I'll show you kind of a standard pool, and then I'll show you a tiered pool and show you some of the differences. I'll show you one other approach that's a little bit more extreme with what you can do with tiered tipping, and then give you a little bit of context for why this might be important or why this might be useful for your business. Looking at this bartender pool, you'll see that we're taking tips after the bartenders tip out other people, and we're taking the rest of the bartender tips and we're just having them pool their tips on a daily frequency. So every bartender is going to take home the same amount of tips per minute worked from this pool. If we look at a tiered system, you can see that we've created 4 individual bartender job codes: the bartender tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. And if you're familiar with point values in the pool, these control how much you're going to take out of the pool per minute worked. So somebody with a point value of 2 would take twice as much money out of the pool as somebody with a point value of 1 per minute. So you can see by building these tiered job codes, we allow you to give some bartenders more money than others. And as you're already probably imagining, the most common way that you would use tiered tipping would be to reward people for being with your company for a long period of time, or to reward those people within your company that are really leading in their department. So your bartenders that are really killing it every day and really doing an awesome job and really showing themselves to be leaders would get a higher tier, or maybe each year you're with the company, you move up in a tier and get access to more tips from your pool. This is an awesome way to reward those leaders. You can also do this on the tip sharing level. So if you look at this first rule under these tip sharing rules, you'll see that bartenders are tipping out the bussers in this case, and they're tipping out 5% of their tips. And we've set this up to be a tiered system for bussers. So our lead busser, who has been there for more than a year, has got a point value of 2. Our busser 1, who just joined, is getting a point value of 1 until they stay with the company and reach that point where they deserve that extra tip out. This is pretty common. We see this all the time with a standard system where maybe you're calling it a lead bartender position and a standard bartender position and maybe a barback position for people who are on track to be bartenders but aren't quite there yet. If you take this to its extreme and go to this other location, Quixote Valley, you can see exactly what is possible here. So in this system, they've done away with job codes in the tip side altogether, and you can see they just have tiers. The tiers here can get very specific, so you can go to decimal points. You could even go, 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 for the point values and get really specific. What you can do when you have just tiers in your tip calculations and you're not focused so much on job codes, you can actually assign these tiers to the individual employees in our system. So the employees still sign in as hosts, still sign in the POS as servers, and clock in as bartenders and do all the things they normally do over there and get all the wages that are associated with those job codes. But when it comes to tips, it really comes down to what tier you are, or what tier you have because you have been with the company for X amount of time, or because you have reached some milestone, or because you've proven yourself in some way to be a valuable member of the team who deserves more tips. So with this kind of tiered system, you can get the best of both worlds. You can run your wages on job codes and clock-ins, and in TipHaus, just have the managers come in and change somebody's tier as they reach whatever milestone you think is appropriate. This allows for some awesome things to happen. The main one is going to be employee retention. So rewarding employees for their time with the company and rewarding employees for their hard work can be difficult to do when you're doing it with wages, because it obviously costs a lot of money out of pocket. So doing the same thing by rewarding employees with tiered tipping and giving them access to more of the house pool as they kind of rank up is an awesome way to take advantage of our software. It is just one of many ways that you could leverage TipHaus to meet your needs. If you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, reach out to our sales team at sales@tiphaus.com. There is so much more to show you, and they will show you all of it if you just reach out. Thank you.